Namaste. My name is Debi Hendra and welcome to my online channel. So for today's power class, I wanted to talk about something called grit. Not what we find on the road or on the beach, but something far more profound, much more useful. Our grit is what we really use when things are tough, when things are a little bit of a struggle around us and the world seems to be closing in. There's been a number of times in my life where I've really needed to find that grit, where I've taken a career choice that hasn't worked, that I've needed to make a decision to step away from a relationship, where I've found that I've needed to stand up and somebody has passed and I'm the one that has been asked to read the obituary. So these things, these moments in my life have been very, very pivotal. They've been points where I've had to really explore who I am, which is exactly what our yoga practice is asking us, to find out, to learn more about ourselves. So a power class like today's class is very much a practice to test our grit, to see how we go when we hit a challenge. In our practice, there will always be poses that we see other people do with ease and grace. There will always be times when our body doesn't seem to want to be able to play along. And what we find is our reaction, how we react to that, how we manage that, how we deal with that. So as we explore today's class, I would like you to see what is going on in your head. Observe the stream of consciousness, and if you can, be kind and compassionate. Just because we have grit, it doesn't mean that we can also be soft and kind. When you're ready, let us then reach our arms out, draw them upwards, and nestle thumbs into our heart center. So here's to our grit, and here's to our heart deep. Then slowly making our way to hands and knees. And then slowly here, coming in those nice big circles around in both directions. And then slowly into our spine. Inhale, exhale a little bit into our cat-cow. Just observing here as we do so. Any resistance, any kind of movement in the spine, which is a little challenging. And if you want to, you can just stop off in one place, mix things around a little, wiggle round a little bit, and then slowly into our shoulder blades, squeezing these gently in and out of the sockets, trying to synchronize the breath with our movement as we do so. And then slowly let us lift upwards and see if we can add a little bit of that movement here, just slowly moving around into the ankles, into the hips, into the shoulders, just getting a little bit of spaciousness. And when you're ready, making our way towards our hands, softening again, slowly playing, just softening, and then making our way to standing. Arms float high, gaze flows up with those hands. Exhale, fold, head drops. Inhale, head lifts, and back we step. Find our down dog. Straight upwards with our leg. Let us shoot this high, bend it inwards. Shoot it higher if you can. Bend it inwards. And again, shoot it upwards. And if you're comfortable, we're going to bend into this leg. Now this may be enough. If you're comfortable, we're going to try and reach our arm upwards. Take a hold of our foot. Gently let us release. Let us swap sides, shoot this other leg upwards, and then draw it inwards. Again, upwards, draw it inwards. And again, shoot it upwards, then bend into that leg. If you're comfortable, we're going to try and lift our other arm, take a hold of our leg here. Once you've taken a hold, breathe, then slowly let us release. Get our balance back to down dog. Preparing here to add a little bit of a jump, lightly forwards, exhale, fold. Then slowly, I'm going to drop down to my knees, pause here. So I'm coming into these Achilles, just slowly starting to stretch into them. Now this was a pose that I did in a yin class a long time ago. And what I'm wanting to do is make it a little easier to now squat down here for the beginning of a sun salute. B, arms float upwards, buttocks stick out, Utkatasana, then gently fold. Exhale as we then lift the sit bones, lift the head and gaze, and jump back towards our plank. Slowly let us lower, drop to knees if you need to, otherwise coming down. Hands back, soft buttocks, heart lifts. Here's our up dog. Then exhale slowly back to our down dog. Left foot now turns to 45, right foot steps forwards. We're going to modify our sun salute B, not just coming here into our warrior. We're going to first of all pivot that back heel, sink lower. Reach the arms high, sink lower. Exhale, 3, 4, and 5. Then bringing our left hand down and our right arm upwards. Engaging here. Exhale, 3, 4, and 5. Then slowly let us come back to our chaturanga. Gently down again. Up dog, down dog. And let us do the same on the other side. Right foot now turns, left foot steps forwards. Slowly arms float high, find your warrior. Then shift and pivot onto that back toe. Arms reach high, sink lower. Exhale here, 3, 4, and 5. This time right hand comes down and slowly I open upwards to the other side. Again, keeping the pelvis low. Exhale, 4, and exhale, 5. Back I come to my down facing dog and breathe here. If you want, bring the toes and the heels together. Exhale, 3. If you find it comfortable, soften into the knees as we roll the shoulders out and take them back towards our knees. Exhale, 5. This time I'm going to lightly jump my feet outside of my hands rather than inside of my hands, and flow the hands backwards, letting the head drop here. Nice wide forward bend. Slowly, slowly leaning into those toes to enjoy that delicious stretch through the backs of the legs. Then let us shift hands now forwards and slowly, slowly try and walk those hands forwards and enjoy that shoulder stretch. Bringing them back to center, hop the feet back, exhale gently, head releases, arms float high, gaze the thumbs, and slowly release hands to our sides. Let us reach the arms now slowly forwards, and as we reach them forwards, I'm going to slowly get my balance. All of the weight is now in my right foot as I shift my left leg slowly upwards. Now, some of my students like to do this one with a foot into the wall. Keep the toe turned down. Gentle version, legs are bent. More challenging version, legs are straight. But if you're comfortable to do it without the wall, out we reach, dropping the chest, lifting the gaze. 3, 4, and when you're ready, 5. Slowly, we're going to try a little bit of a hop upwards here with our leg, and again, a little bit of a hop upwards with our leg, and see if eventually we can find this, the balance point. Let us swap sides. So now, reaching my arms out, left leg is now grounding, arms extend up and out. Use the wall if you need to here. Exhale, 3, 4, and 5. Hands back down, and then we can try a little light jump here, another little light jump here, and one more little jump upwards. Slowly let us step back again to our down facing dog. Inhale, exhale, 3, exhale, 4, and exhale, 5. Now instead of coming forwards, this time I'm going to drop down to my left knee and wrap here my right knee around this. And then slowly I'm going to take this back leg wide and see if I can sit back down. Some of you may have seen this pose before, Gomukasana, cow face. Now depending on here your hips, we're going to see if we can soften this right buttock down because my right knee is on top. So I'm going to try and draw this right foot back a little bit further. Breathe here. Now this is the first part. This is the foundation. This is effectively our seat. Then we need to add shoulders. So I'm going to roll here my left arm. The shoulder came out past the 180 as I did this movement, not in front. Past the 180 to then roll and draw this hand upwards. Reaching the other arm gently out. You might find you can make a connection. You might find they don't quite reach. You're welcome to use a strap or a scarf. If you're comfortable, draw those fingers inwards. This lower elbow is going to lift up to the crown of the head as I lift my gaze upwards here. 3, 4, and 5. Then out of the seat, we lift slowly back to our down dog. We step. Beautiful. Pausing here, and then we're going to try swapping sides. So this time my right knee comes down and my left leg wraps around over the top. Right leg slides further out and I sit back downwards here. So if I face towards the camera so you can see, eventually you'll find that it's a fairly even pose, that your feet, as we draw this left foot backwards, are about the same width. But this takes a while for the left hip to open. This time right arm comes out past the 180, rolls, slides up the spine, and the other arm gently reaches down. Again, try and draw this elbow upwards towards the sky, breathing here. 3, 4, and 5. We'll release back to our down facing dog. So out we come, and as we press hands down, breathing here. I'm going to jump my feet again wide, and this time squat into Malasana. And as I squat, seeing here if I can lift my chest upwards. And if I again turn towards the camera, you'll see that my feet are pointing out towards the side, and I'm using my elbows to push my knees out towards the side as well. Slowly, slowly sinking into this. And then we're going to have a go at wrapping here. One arm around, reaching the other arm upwards. You can see I'm using this other hand into the floor before I then reach around and take the bind. Exhale here. 3, 4, and 5. And then we'll swap. Reach this arm around. Again, I can use the floor as I reach this arm upwards, and then slowly take the bind on this side. Exhale here. 3, 4, and as we exhale, 5, back hands to our heart. Slowly, slowly from here, we're going to bring hands to the mat again, slowly lift upwards. And then we can play a little bit with our crow pose. So as we do crow, we're going to start to come up on towards our toes and bring here our knees inwards. Now the gentle version is to bring knees here lower to the elbow. The more challenging version is to bring them upwards towards your armpit. So let us try this gentle version first, leaning forwards. Slowly, slowly, you might find that you can lift one foot and you can lift another foot, eventually lifting both feet off the mat. Let us see if we can come a little higher this time, knees in towards our armpits and slowly lifting upwards and towards our crow. Exhale here. 2, 3, 4, and 5, and gently back down. Awesome. Let us sit down onto the mat after all of that hard work. Hands to the front. If you can comfortably come onto your elbows, do so. If you want to, reach the arms out. Take them towards the little toe sides of your feet and breathe here. Exhale. 3, 4, and 5. Slowly back up to sitting. Let us slide the legs now around. Hug them in towards our chest. And if you want, gently rock from side to side. Little bit of core practice here, I think. So I'm going to keep my knees upwards and slowly see if I can take them up and over. Slowly, slowly over my head. If I can, touching the floor here. Then very slowly, I'm going to try and peel downwards, keeping my feet in contact with the floor for as long as possible, and then gently, gently rolling down through the spine. Bring them back into your chest. Again, let us try that movement up and over. See if we can touch the floor, and then slowly, slowly, slowly lower. This time, we're going to lower them straight all the way back down onto the mat. Now, if you do get lower back pain at this point, you can bend your knees slightly. Otherwise, try and keep the legs straight and lower them all the way back down. Without touching and resting on the floor, we're going to try and lift them all the way back over again. Touch the floor, slowly slide them down, slowly lower them. Well, won't touch again, we're going to lift them upwards, and from here we're going to add a little bit of crisscross. Slowly down, slowly back up. Once again down, and all the way back up. And this time as we do it, we're going to try and lift here our head. Now I'm supporting the head with my hands. I'm not lifting it with my hands. And then here I'm going to slowly try and crisscross the legs down and back up again. And then slowly down and back up again. And by this point I'm hoping we've created some fire, a little bit of heat. Turning the palms upwards and letting the body rest in Shavasana. Knees gently coming up towards your chest, pausing once again here. And very slowly let us make our way back up to sitting. Namaste.